How can a tutor make more money? Many people start working as a tutor in their spare time to earn extra income. But often after finding a couple students, so friends or tutoring platform, you find that you earn less than you expected. Why this can happen? You can have few students and it's not clear where to find more. Tutoring platform commissions take up most of your income. The cost per hour is less than you expected. What can you do with this? Let's talk about how to find more students and increase the cost of lessons. You can look for students without any services on your own by promoting your personal brand on the social media. But it's easier said than done, right? Many tutors are social media savvy, but only few of them have students lined up because of it. The thing is, your social media will only bring in students if they feel value in your posts or videos. Talking about yourself and sharing students' feedback is definitely important, but this post won't be shared with friends and almost no one will save them to their bookmarks. So, post about what a great teacher you are and how successful your students. You should only make up to 25% or less of your posts. So, what should a tutor write about on social media? Create a habit of writing out your students' questions. Every time you feel that your students didn't understand a topic or something they found particularly difficult, write it down and remember what it was that helped the students understand the topic. This notice that will become the foundation of your content. Students will see real value in your posts, keep them for themselves and forward them to their friends when they have questions that your subscriber has already answered. The format can be anything. You can be post of pictures and text on Instagram. It can be a vertical videos for TikTok, Reels, or YouTube Shorts. Or maybe long videos tutorials on YouTube like that. But even with useful and interesting content, it's sometimes too difficult to gain followers from scratch. To do this, you can share posts or make collaborations videos with colleagues who are also blogging. If possible, you can try buying ads from small bloggers or run ads on your posts. It can seem like an expense, but in the long run, it can bring you students that will pay back the investment. So, you start finding students by social media. What's next? What to do when the more students wanted to take classes than you can take? When your schedule become overcrowded, at first you may gradually phase out who you've been taking classes with through platform that take from 40 to 60% of your income. Devoting more time to those you are taking classes with directly. Next, when you see more students coming back to you than your schedule allows you to take, that's a reason to raise your price. Yes, it can be scary because some students may drop out, but if you do it right, you can get more and still work just as much or even less. How to do it right? Raise your prices no more than 20-30% at the time. Don't raise prices for current students at once. Warn them that you are taking a new students at the new price. And only for them you will keep current price, but only for the 1 to 3 months, no more longer. After which the cost of lessons will be increased like for other students. But use these price increases to create motivational promotion. For example, to those students who come to the lesson with completed homework, discount for lesson 10% off. By repeating this process every 4 to 6 months or every school year, you will gradually grow in revenue. But how do you can grow faster? By only doing one-to-one lessons, you always will limited by your schedule. But you can be free from this by creating your own course. And then you grow in the number of students and therefore income will no longer be limited. How to generate income from online courses? First, you should decide what kind of course you want to create. This course can be in a record format or in live lessons format. How to choose a course format? The main advantages of recorded lesson is that you can record it once and sell it as many times as you like without spending much time on it. But the disadvantage is that in this case you are competing with a large number of other recorded courses, including free ones. So, learners are often not willing to pay much for these courses. But if your content is really high quality and interesting, it can be a good source of almost passive income. In turn, live courses is often a compromise for students between expensive one-to-one lessons and watching recordings course. Because in these classes, students can ask the teacher questions and having a schedule of classes motivates students to study systematically. Therefore, students are willing to pay more for these courses. But the disadvantage of such courses is that you get income from them only by recruiting groups and conducting lessons. And also in this format is quite difficult to start with, because you are tied to announced start date and you need to find group of students by that date, sufficient to make the course more profitable than if you spend time on individual classes. How to start creating online courses? You can start by creating a small recorded course that you can post for free on YouTube if it's just lessons, or on SubSchool if you want to attach practical exercises to the video. If the topic of course allows you, you can even record the lessons as vertical videos and post them on TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. This way, students can get to know how you teach, and by combining such a course with the social networking we talked about earlier, you build an audience. Having an audience, you will make it much easier for you to find students into group for the live lessons. And also, after watching the free courses, students will be much easier to decide to buy a recorded courses. The way you can gradually move from one-to-one lessons to creating courses, increasing your income while reducing your workload. Life hacks for creating a recorded course. When creating a recorded course, try to stick to the rule that one lesson answer one question or cover only one specific topic. For free courses, whose video you also post on social media, stick to timing of 1 to 3 minutes for vertical videos and 10 plus minus 2 minutes for YouTube. For paid courses with more detailed topics and more practical exercises, it's normal to make 20 to 40 minutes for lessons, but it's important to stick to one topic per lesson. For each lesson, create assignments to reinforce the lessons, so your lessons will have more value for your students. After creating all materials, try to put these lessons on all available platforms to increase the coverage and get maximum sales. But specify that the price take into account the different commissions of platforms. For example, on Udemy, you get only 37% of sales, And in SubSchool, you get 82%. So if you want to get $100 per one sale, you need to specify $271 for Udemy and $122 on SubSchool. So in both cases, you will get $100 from sale. Life hacks of creating a live course. Despite the fact that in the live lessons you don't need to record all lessons materials in advance. You should prepare lesson program in advance. Create a lessons plan, prepare a presentation and homework assignments so the lessons will go smoothly and without schedule changes. For announcement and registration of students, you make a small site, for example, with the help of Tilda or Wix, or just tell about it in social media and give the students in the chat, and then hold lessons in Zoom or Discord. It's how can you start. But if you plan to find more than 5 to 10 learners, it will be quite difficult to manage chat lessons and check assignments manually. You can use SubSchool to organize your course and schedule and get additional students. Write any questions about course creation in the comments and I will be glad to answer them. Goodbye!